Brazilian poker pro Pedro Toledo, aka Bilizun, came from behind to outlast some of the best players in the world, including Kevin Paque, Prodigy, and Davyjones, to take the World Cash Game Championship title on Coinpoker. He was slicing and dicing in these last couple of weeks, playing A+ game. The interesting thing was Pedro was playing extremely aggressive, and I wonder if he had a change of strategy when he was break even a couple weeks ago and decided to get more aggressive because maybe he thought people were kind of overfolding to him, so he decided to get way more aggressive, or maybe it was just a mindset that he was going to go down swinging and decided to get very aggressive. And you'll see today as we go over some of these hands. And after you watch the rest of it, just comment below in your opinion how do you think he kind of played and what do you think his kind of strategy was? Because you'll see in some of these hands, he was very aggressive. Hats off to Bilizun. Great performance to take the Rolex and take the championship. Let's dive into some of his cool hands here. So we got the first one here. We're playing three-way Davy C Lama. Davy was winning like the first couple weeks of this competition. He was playing so well, just fortunately towards the end kind of faded out. Just a natural variance, I guess. So C Lama goes for the 3-bet here, and it's a pretty solid board for him. I'd expect a range bet to start off. And he can actually range bet for this size. He needs a little bit larger, but it's just a really good board for him, this Rainbow King X board. Bilizun starts off with the call. Obviously, generally versus bet, he's just going to be folding turn. But when your opponent checks, a lot of times these low pairs under the board and 3-bet pots can make pretty nice bluffs, barreling bluffs as well, just because their ability to kind of unblock some of his folding range. If you think about it, is gonna have like a linear range, so he does decide to go for like a larger bet, which is really nice because you put like Ace Jack, Ace 10, you know, maybe like pocket 8s and 10s. You put all those hands to a difficult spot here, and you're just completely unblocking that part, of course. So that's a nice feature of this hand. Even though in terms of equity, obviously you have, you know, microscopic showdown, and then, you know, 1 out of 25 times you hit your set on river. So it is a blank river here. So now Bilizun's going to have a decision to make. And like I said, a lot of times it kind of carries forward to the river where it's a decent combo. You're like kind of completely unblocking folds here, like Queen X, pocket 10s, Jacks. He does go for the shove with the 6s and kind of picks up on this dynamic. Like I said, he shows no fear in the end of this competition. Like the last couple of weeks, he's just playing very aggressive, not afraid to go for large bluffs, which we'll have plenty queued up today. Literally right down to the last tick, and he does fold. So nice work there, turning kind of a weak hand into a bluff, barreling twice there. Let's go over another one. If you guys have been kind of liking some of these vids I've been coming out with, I really appreciate like a like helps a lot, sub helps a lot, keeps the channel kind of chugging along. So if you guys do like it, I would appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right, so 10-8 suited on the button. It's a fun hand. So he's just gonna obviously go ahead and open raise here. This time we got Prodigy in the small blind going for the 3-bet. Pretty easy call. Really good board for Owen here. I mean, he's just going to be range betting. And obviously, Bilizun's is going to go for a call. So on 5-turn, Prodigy goes ahead and checks. And the one thing about this hand, it's definitely like a fair bet on turn. But it does have like so much equity too that like, if it goes bet shove, it kind of sucks. So, you know, mixing back some checks with this is going to make some sense. And it gives you additional board coverage on river. So, you know, checks back and he does snag the 10. So, but he goes for half pot bet. I think a lot of people watching this might be satisfied with kind of catching that 10x region, checking back, showing down your hand. You don't want to open the pot. But I love this rate. I love this bet here. This is, you know, obviously thin value. He might be splitting range because like Jack X plus probably wants to go a little larger. And with Prodigy tanking, like at this point, he's going to feel pretty good that he's rarely going to tank with worse. And he does get the call with 7. So it's really nice bet here not to just give up and extract a little more value. I mean, when you bet this sizing, like you're kind of hoping your opponent has like that 7s region, maybe 6s, 8s. Of course, you're blocking, but occasionally you can hear a call like an ace king or something. So I love, and of course 9x, I do love the initiative here to extract some extra value from Bilizun. So nice play. Next one here, we got 10-8 suited again, and it's still a beautiful hand. Not as beautiful from the small blind, but much funner to play in the button. But still plenty of opportunities for fun times. And he does go for the 3-bet, and notice how deep we are here. That's going to be an important part to this hand. Also, one thing you notice in the competition, just a little side note, that a lot of times these guys are playing deeper. They don't. One of the reasons you don't see like a larger 3-bet when they're playing deeper, because the small blind you have strong linear range. So rather than like increase your sizing like you would like from big blind, you're really just tightening your range a little bit and making it even strong linear. Like you're respecting the fact that they have that you're out of position in a deep stack pot. So like you don't want to play like your normal range. Kind of want to tighten the ship a little bit. Of course, like 10-8, he has 10-8 here. That's fine. I mean, it's all like frequency stuff, mixed frequency stuff. But generally, like it's a tighter range. That's how you kind of combat that rather than increase your sizing. Alrighty, so we get the wonderful Jack 6-4 no club flop. Kind of sucks. He decides a bet. I mean, I guess you got some backdoors, whatever. I mean, it is a lower frequency bet flop, again, because we're playing deeper stacks, so it's kind of an iffy C bet, but all good. And like, when you get like these cards, like these boards that are like really good for like in position like 7, 6-7, pocket 7s, more concentrated from Prodigy, and the deeper you get, and he does go for a large bet, the deeper you get, the more troublesome it gets from your EV perspective, like because you're playing deeper. So like hands like kings and queens and aces, normally in 100 big blind effective pot are like YOLO, let's just go for it. Hands really strong still. But when you get deeper, those queens, kings, and aces, they shave off like 10 to 15%. Big blinds call it like 3 to 5 big blinds that they shave off here, which is pretty significant. So all that kind of means is like you kind of take down frequencies a little bit and you play a little bit, I guess, tighter overall and more passive, just accepting the fact that you're out of position and your opponent has a lot of nutted hands in their range. But it's okay. You got a nice draw hand. It's kind of an awkward hand to play versus check bet, deep stack. So it's all fine. Again, just weaving in the concept here that Bilizun is playing. He's taking more aggressive frequencies, and Prodigy goes ahead and calls. He's not. He doesn't care about low frequency this and that, or like you kind of need to play a little more passive or check here. Like he's just taking the aggressive line, so I give him credit. Like he's trying to play to win. So this is obviously like a pretty terrible river for Bilizun. Just again, the same concept where Prodigy is just more concentrated in this region, like the 8x and all these like sets and 2 pairs are just going to be a much greater preponderance of Prodigy's range. So it's really nice to, like, if you happen to arrive here with 8x, so it doesn't happen that often, really nice to weave in some checks here, especially against aggressive players like Prodigy. Protect your range, protect your 1-pair region. Like, obviously those can go for value, like small bet, but there's plenty of your region, plenty of your value region that kind of wants to just play a more protective strategy on this river, where you still have, almost a 2-to-1 stack pot ratio. Prodigy does go for the shove. Obviously he snaps and couldn't have got better news extracting the most value possible. I mean, Prodigy shove makes a lot of sense. He doesn't have that much air, especially non-spade air, as he gets to the river here. And given like the advantages I was saying, like he's more, and Prodigy's a player that will definitely like go for value with sets here. Like he's not just ripping in 8x. And I even think Prodigy's kind of player that he would even rip in like some 2 pairs here. I wouldn't be totally surprised. Just given on the rage constructing here, small blind being kind of a tight linear range and, being concentrated in like aces, king, queens, jack X, things like that. And Bilizun just doesn't have that much 8x. He happens to arrive here this time with it, but it's just not a hand he's not going to have. He doesn't have many snaps, let's say that. So Prodigy can apply a ton of pressure. I like Prodigy's line. It's but Bilizun has, he's got the nuts essentially here. So yeah, I like how he played it. He's definitely more aggressive, deep stack. He just kind of went for it, flop turn, and it's nice awareness to kind of pump the brakes river, and you can do some of those bluffs and kind of protect your range. Alrighty, next one here we got pocket fours, UTG, Limitless. Good to is my other video I had out recently. Is good to see him back. Kind of like putting in volume in online high stakes. So he goes for the call, and he has very interesting hand class here at the backdoor flush draw, the straight draw. Obviously a pair. Many strategies you could take flop here. Well, 2 strategies really, but not many. Kind of clicking it back here sometimes is great, just because Limitless is going to have just random, king jacks of the world, non-flush draw, that kind of stuff. 10 jack and ace 10, just random hands. So it just allows you to kind of realize your equity a little bit of these like middling type regions. Like say you have pocket 10s, it's pocket 4 regions, stuff like that. So it makes sense to do a lot of merging, kind of check raise. I'm assuming on Jack X turn, he's going to be enacting a little bit more of a polarized strategy, double flush board on turn. And we have the front door flush comes in on river, and Bilizun really isn't going to really consider, well, before I can finish my sentence, so he goes for the shove here, 2x shove. It's kind of interesting just because Limitless should have a lot of flushes here. Like he doesn't want to like bet fold. Like he's gonna have some bet call flushes, but he's gonna have some bet fold ones on turn. And he has a lot of flushes to choose from, right? He's got club. You can't just bet all his club and heart. I mean, you can do what you want. But I don't think he's generally gonna do that. So I think it's just interesting what he's doing here. He's kind of shoving, 2x shove into a range that will have a fair amount of nuts in it. He's not that capped on this river. So, it's okay. Obviously, he's got great blockers here, and he's got unblockers. He can fold out, pretty much pressure everything that's not like a flush here. And he does generate the fold. So nice done. Well done. All right, this time we got 7-8 offsuit in the big blind. Prodigy goes ahead and open raise, and this one gets pretty interesting pretty quickly. So Prodigy goes for the larger bet here, and he does decide to just kind of click it back, small raise. Oh, it's like B50 actually. Prodigy goes ahead and goes for the call, and now he's going to have a clear decision if he wants to merge kind of bluff here, or if he wants to just kind of play more like a check call line. He could even entertain like a check raise line. I mean, he does go for the large bet and kind of merges here. Just, blocking 10-8 is relevant. Prodigy should have 8-5 too. So, and you're blocking pocket 7s and 9-7 suited. So it's actually like, I feel like you could do a decent amount of things. It's a fun hand. I mean, on a rainbow board, kind of get creative here. So he just turns his hand into kind of a merge. Prodigy continues, and it gets a 9 river, which kind of sucks because it takes away some of the strong hands he was maybe representing. Like, could have pocket 9s as one combo now. Probably wouldn't have too many. I guess he could have queen 9 as well. So it does reduce some of those combos. And the thing is, Prodigy's going to have a lot more like random 9x. Like, of course, he's merging here 7x, but he's going to merge with some 9x, but it's probably not a lot. Not like Prodigy has in his range. So it's kind of like a shitty card for him. And he does go for the shove. He merges. Wow. I mean, he is blocking really strong hands like 10-8, 8-5, and like not like 9-7 suited, pocket 7s. I mean, he's trying to fold out obviously like the queen X region and like maybe some overpairs, but probably mostly the queen X region. I mean, the thing is, this river's so bad for him, and it's a less than pot size bet. Generally, like, you want to just take your air here and shove that in and kind of just check down your merge stuff. Again, his mantra, his mindset is just like aggression. Like, you can't. He's definitely constructed some strategy towards the second half of this competition. Or like I said, like, is he doing it because he thinks people are folding, or is he doing it because he just wants to be really aggressive? And that was his mindset, or maybe a little both. I don't know, but he's not taking passive lines. He's not taking, check call, check decide lines. He's kind of going with it. And he gets the fold. Prodigy tanks to the end. It's very interesting to see what Prodigy folded there. So nice one again. This one, ace 4, is another very twisted type hand. Interesting hand that kind of transpires. Starts off pretty standard. You got Matt Marinelli, who had a great comeback. He was down, stuck pretty good. He came back and was above break even. Same with Rig Deck. Rig Deck came back too. Was down, stuck pretty deeply. I think the most out of anyone. And same with Matt, but they both came back. So you got to give credit. You got to have a strong mindset to come back when you're down like that in a competition like this versus the best in the world. So anyways, Bilizun goes for 3-bet with ace 4 off. Big blind, obviously you're getting polarized. And he opts to kind of check this one. It's a nice one to just tug into your check call line. It's one of those Swiss Army hands you could do several things with. You could do a little protection raise. You're blocking some strong hands. You could just fold out equity. Of course, like check call's great too, and can play well check calling the river. So this is where the hand is going to get a little interesting. He goes for a lead, which a lot of times when you play check call in these 3-bets, king ace turn is usually like, it's really great for that opposition because you check call a lot of like ace king and your opponent doesn't have ace king. So that it's like in a lot of these situations, it depends on board texture, but typically it's going to be like a pretty nutted-ish hand where they can just get it in. And you have, top pair, top kicker. On queen, it's a little different. It definitely can have some leads because he check calls a lot of ace queen. But the thing that's different is like Matt's going to have ace queen too. So you can kind of match him there a little bit. But definitely can have some leads. And, he goes for the merge here. Just kind of trying to wash out some equity. And it's a hand that can hold up to raises. Just their ability to block like a hand like ace 3, pocket 4s, 4-5 suited, ace queen. So it's like got these like nice properties where it can actually like, it feels like weak and out of line, but it's actually got some nice features to kind of defend. And Matt does go for the raise here, applying pressure right back to Bilizun, which is generally going to be queen x plus. He can himself throw some merge stuff if he wants, depending on how he thinks Bilizun's constructing his range. And that's what I'm saying. This gets a very interesting spot because it's very abnormal sequence here. And he goes for the shove and gets snapped by ace 10 of spades, which of course is never going to fold that hand out. And they do just go for, well, yeah, because he has the ace. They chop the last one. He wins the first one, so he wins 2 of them. Of course, from the EV of the competition, it is what it is. But yeah, it was very interesting. It's one of those hands you kind of go down this hole with that it has these good properties. All of a sudden, it's like you're 3-betting with ace 4, but it doesn't not make sense because, like I said, he has blocking the ace queen. He's blocking pocket 4s, 4-5 suited, ace 3. So like all these hands, and you can try to just shove it back into Matt's face, and then especially if he thinks Matt's kind of like turning hands like, king jack suited or something like that, 10 jack suited, turning those hands into a bluff. It's kind of nice to wash out that equity and just generate that folds. And versus flush draws, you got like a 2-to-1 edge. So yeah, it was cool. Like, it was great to watch some of his play here. And like I said, after you guys watch, why don't you comment down below, think what you thought of his play. He played very, very aggressive towards the end. Very cool hands. Congrats to him again. Well done. And if you guys like this video, sub like, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.